From Boca Ice Center in Boca Raton, Florida, brings one of the hottest rising teams in a new league in Men's Division III this year. Your FAU Owls coming off a Nationals appearance last year, and they're looking to start the year off in the right way against a familiar opponent. It's the FAU Men's 3 Owls against the ACDC Miami Hurricanes. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Upper Deck here at Boca Ice Center, the new home, total home for your Men's 3 and Men's 2 FAU teams. My name is Devin Serra, alongside my partner Wesley Moore tonight, and we're happy to bring you this one. Wes, an FAU team that did very well last year, 16-6 on the year. They got that playoff experience, but a lot of turnover. 5 new players, including their leadership core, went up to the Division II roster. This Men's 2 team brings in a lot of new additions, and they were promising in minicamp.
Yeah, this Men's 3 team, and specifically speaking with Andrew Yagoda, their head coach, specifically mentioned a couple players, Sam Fisher, Matt McMillan, their starting goalkeeper, Joe Lozeritis, Sam Watson, and he's also named a bunch of captains, new captains to this team that will head up the Florida Atlantic Hockey Club.
Yeah, that new leadership was very important to him. He told us even if you don't have leadership, you've got just a little bit better than a rec team. So he harps a lot on the new core, and we'll get to those in a moment. What's so interesting, too, about this team is the fact that even though they bring up all of this new leadership, it feels like a young team, but an experienced team based off that Nationals experience they got.
Yeah, I remember looking at the roster as well. This team is mainly just freshmen and sophomores, one senior, but mainly youth.
Yeah, a lot of youth and as many as 12 sophomores on this team, and a lot of them you're going to get to learn over this season. We've got a lot to get to on that one, but first we're going to talk to you a little bit about previewing some games going on around the country tonight. Middle Tennessee takes on Clemson. This is a Men's 3 matchup in the ACHA, and disclaimer, you're going to hear us mention a lot about the changeover. Both these teams here no longer in AAU. It is now in the ACHA. Middle Tennessee and Clemson, that's at 10 p.m. Eastern from Clemson Ice Arena. Kennesaw State takes on Men's 2 Georgia Tech at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's a big game for a Kennesaw State team that did pretty well at conference tournament last year. And ACDC, Florida Tech, takes on Lynn. And speaking of those differences, we'll talk about ACDC and what that means. We're not talking about the song Shoot to Thrill here. We're talking about a new conference and a new league. First, though, looking at your FAU Owls, 16-6 on the year last year, 12-2 in conference play. Although they got that playoff experience, they had a tough go of it in the conference tournament, getting upset by Florida. But we mentioned it earlier, the leadership starting to evolve and these new players coming in.
Yeah, so this Florida Atlantic M3 team has 11 new players on their roster, and also speaking with Coach Andrew Yagoda, he mentioned that the 3 captains for today that will also be introduced, Matt McMillan, Sam Watson, a captain on their defense, Jake Buchigras, another captain as well on their defense, and also Joe Lozeritis, a captain, a forward captain. He is unfortunately injured tonight. We will not see him on the ice, but we will end up getting to hear from him during the third period.
And congratulations to those players, especially Sam Watson, a guy that really grinds it out on the blue line. He's going to be very important for them all throughout this season. Taking a look on the other side of the ice is the ACDC Miami. Now, you might be wondering what we mean when we say ACDC. It's the American Collegiate Development Conference, a new initiative by the ACHA, the American Collegiate Hockey Association, to help programs that need it, maybe not are at the competitive level as some others, with scheduling and programming and a lot of the administrative work that the leadership staffs in a lot of teams have, mainly with an e-board. So they come in as an ACDC team. It's only a handful of groups, but a team that struggled last year in Men's 3. 4-12-3 on the year, a second-year program just like FAU, but they have a really good head coach and some promising things to develop.
Yeah, so last year they made their conference tournament. In all honesty, they didn't put up much of a fight. It was a first-round exit. But the good news for this University of Miami team is that their main 3 players that made up a bulk of their scoring last year, Jonathan Noss, Nathan Koo, and Christopher Henry Skinger, they're back, and they're ready to play again for this season.
Yeah, and they're going to need them against an FAU team that is absolutely buzzing with depth. So Taking a look at the series history, you might wonder, have these two teams met? They have. This is the old men's 3 team from AAU last year, and FAU swept them, dominated them even. A 32-5 goal differential, which FAU took all of those games by almost double-digit points in every single one. So it just gives you a little bit of the scope about what we're dealing with here, and FAU sure feels confident in what they feel like is a game that can get them comfortable and some chemistry with a lot of these new players to the lineup. Taking a look at our impact players, Wes, a lot of these are on FAU's side, getting used to that leadership core.
Yeah, definitely. A second-year goaltender, Matt McMillan, coming back ready to go. He's definitely going to make an impact for this game. Also, Sam Watson, the new captain for this team on defense, is going to make a big impact as well. But mainly, I think the biggest name that we're going to have to look for today is John Bayona. He's especially coming with high regards from Andrew Yagoda, saying he has a great work ethic. He always is flying on the ice, always doing what is asked of him. He's going to make a huge impact on this game, and he even thinks that this game might be first scored by him.
I was about to say, he was really high on putting money on John Bayona.
Oh, yeah.
Not real money, of course, but money on Bayona to be an impact player, one of those new additions to this squad. All right, Wes, time to get to your keys to the game tonight. What does FAU need to do to take care of business against this ACDC squad?
So the things that FAU needs to do to beat this Miami team, they need to be fast and physical, both on their forecheck and on their back check. They also need to be very organized, very disciplined on defense, not letting much get past them, not letting there be too many mistakes. And the one main thing that I really like that Coach Yagoda said, he said ESP, known as extra special powers to us, but in hockey, efficiency, speed, and possession are the 3 biggest things that he believes that will lead to a FAU victory.
And they have some speedsters on this squad, a little bit undersized, but they sure make up for it in that effort, and that's what he's expecting for a full 60 minutes here tonight as we get set to open the season for your M3 Owls. Don't go anywhere. Puck Drop is next, live from Boca Raton, Florida.
There we go. talking. You can see if it works. Can you send that into the, my bad.
We are set for puck drop here from Boca Raton, Florida. Devin Serra alongside Wesley Moore. We're ready for puck drop from Boca Raton. We'll get you your starting lineup for both teams. First, your FAU Owls. Sam Watson gets a look with that leadership core, along with Drew Renzi, who head coach Andrew Yagoda said needs to quarterback this forecheck in a good way for them to be good this year. We'll get to some of this more in a moment, but first let's look at your goaltenders for both sides. Starting for this visiting Miami team, they'll turn to number 29 in Max Hoffman out of Bryn Athyn, Pennsylvania. 6-8-1 with men's 2 last year. 5.07 goals against average, .832 save percentage. He got a lot of work against some strong teams in that league. Meanwhile, Seth Fisher starts the first game for this year. A sophomore from Arnold, Maryland. 7-3-0 last year. 3.57, .847. Here we go. The second year of FAU men's 3 hockey, and the first in ACHA men's 3 begins now. The first touch goes to Seth Fisher out of his own goal to settle things down. From left to right, your Owls will go. A new look for them tonight in some temporary uniforms. Very solid with the blue socks, the blue sweaters, and you see on those shoulder pads the red. Glove down out of the air by Sam Watson, one of those leadership pieces, back at his own zone to take care of business. He's chased in a hard way. Alien Astulian coming in to make him move the puck from right to left. Now coming over the red line, losing handle. Boy, for just a moment there, some quick moves. You're going to notice some temporary numbers. These are not going to be how they look all season, but that's John Bayona, number 4, one of your impact players tonight.
Yeah, as Coach specifically mentioned about him, how hard of a worker he is, and he also mentioned he's also undersized, not one of the biggest guys on this ice, but he works hard. He always goes flying on the ice back and forth, working as hard as he can.
I mean, you mentioned that. We'll talk about Andrew Yagoda's staff. He has added some pieces this year to bolster this new set of players. FAU out of their own zone touches this puck. A one-time shot on Seth Fisher, stood that one aside, and a good first stop of the game for the young goaltender. Now over the red line, they'll move it east to west, just a dump and chase after it. Behind the net, trying to settle this puck down, was Max Hoffman. Catching up to it was a number of FAU sweaters. This is an ACDC men's team for Miami in their second year as a program. They were men's 3 AAU last year, and they are part of the American Collegiate Development Conference. One-time blast. That one also saved by Hoffman off the blade. Looked like not getting everything on that was Christopher Iannicelli, freshman from Lithia, Florida. As the Owls try to keep it in, they'll dump it. Good job holding the line for just a moment. And now they'll go back to retreat. Some wholesale changes for this FAU lineup. On coming, racing towards the puck, Connor Strum. In hot pursuit, Sam Carozza, one of those returning sophomores, as many as 12 on this FAU team. They are a young but experienced group, considering they got some national experience after Richmond dropped out of the men's 2 tournament. They were invited and went 1-2 in conference play. FAU from the right wing, drop pass off, a shot towards the net, sails high over top of the goal from A.J. Berry. Berry gets back after it, puts one in front to a good spot, and nearly tipped through. Good job by Rothamich to get himself inside positioning and make life tough for Hoffman. Good pace of start to this game. 17:34 left in it as we begin game number 1 on this fresh season at the second week of September. in FAU's zone, trying to slow the pace of play down, was William Comtoy Tuma, one of the new freshmen this year. Lead pass gets through. 2 Miami defenders squashed the attempt by Rothamich while his team was getting their lineup organized. Stretch pass doesn't work. This is going to go for icing, and it will come back to the Hurricane zone.
It's only been 3 minutes, and you can already tell FAU is out there listening to their coach, flying, absolutely going down the ice, being super aggressive on the forecheck, playing excellent defense, hitting hard, getting 3 shots already on goal. It's been a great performance so far, even without a goal.
Listening to their second-year head coach, Andrew Yagoda, from the New Jersey area originally, has been in Boca for some time, runs a law firm as his real job, along with assisting this Florida Atlantic program. He's got a new staff this year with the likes of Kevin Hoy, Justin Grandinetti, along with this great management staff led by Scott Grosky, the general manager, and their trainer, Mike Flaherty. FAU tries to find open ice and crunch to the boards along the far side. Now back to retrieve it. Miami takes over out of their own red line. They'll drop pass for Henry Stinger. No race into the pads of Fisher with no contest there. On the Miami side, they are led by Tom Imanello in his 6th year with this Miami group. He was the head coach of their national championship in men's 3 during their AAU play in 2024. His assistant is Sam Stone, and a lot of Miami fans credit Tom Imanello for reigniting this Miami program that was on the brink of collapse just a few years ago. Miami, good job on the faceoff win. They keep it inside the zone. Having to retreat back is one of those new alternate captains, Jake Buccigross. And out of the zone, FAU comes. They will turn heel now as a quick steal and turnover. Racing is Riker Ferry. Puts one towards the net. That got blocked in front before it ever got there. Hurricanes, first offensive look of this game for them. Estulian behind the goal, has handle. He's defended well on that far side in the wing. Gets it up to the point, through a screen, traffic still up for grabs in the slot area. Stepping on that puck, a Florida Atlantic defender. If they hurry, Buccigross could have had a lead man racing out of the zone. Couldn't find that one quick enough. Up for a key scoring chance. Look out, Fisher, another quality stop on Evan Zadakis. And a third try, this one loose. He coughed it up in his pad. Looked like he tried to put it in his chest protector with the glove. Now an open look backhand wide to the left of the goal. Riker Ferry, the Hurricanes, 3-4 quality chances. FAU just trying to take a breath as the Hurricanes are looking to strike first in this one. We're already 5 minutes gone in this first period. It's been a quick pace of play. Devin Serra and Wes Moore with you. This will be the only game of this first semester between Miami and FAU that is at least the ACDC team, as looks like we've got our first stoppage of play, and is this a call? It is. It's going to be for cross-checking. Now this was somewhere near the bench area. I did not see the play. The official to the right of the ice motioned towards the FAU bench that there was an indication of the penalty. It looks like sitting for 2 minutes. It's going to be on the FAU side of things. And that's Drew Renzi. So an opportune power play on a Renzi penalty. After the look Miami just got, this is absolutely what you need for a team that trying to make a statement, considering this is the same team that lost 3 straight and a goal differential of 32-5 last year to these Owls. So Miami, with Drew Renzi in the box, will collect out of their own zone. Over the neutral zone, Kyle McGuire, stretch pass, doesn't connect. They get it over the line. Now they'll settle it down. Remy Kagan up at the point. They'll slide it D to D to the net. That one got blocked in front, and they'll say it went into the protective netting off the backside of Chris Michelini.
This has been kind of unexpected. We expected the Owls obviously outscoring Miami last year 32-5. but we weren't expecting it to be this close, this tight. There was 2 shots that could have very easily been goals by Miami, making this a 2-0 lead, but great defense by the Owls to get the puck out of there and just not let any damage be done.
Yeah, sure, and they did cough up a few times to Fisher, sort of caught flat-footed in front of their own net, but so far a couple of good tests for that young goaltender who didn't start the majority of games last year as he backed up Mac McMillan for most of later half of the season. They come in on the power play, and once again, a striking chance from the right side trying to cut into the net was Elian Astulian. Miami with a look to the right side. This one blocked. First, second shot, they score! The second chance clapper by Riker Ferry has the first goal of this season for the Hurricanes.
What really impressed me about that goal, too, is it got blocked by one FAU player, and he was just ready on the puck, shot it right in the upper 90 of that net. It was a great goal by Miami.
Yeah, that's an impressive follow-up after you mentioned he stuck with the play after the initial block, but Riker Ferry, the winger for Miami, gets things started, and if you're Tom Emanella, you're going to love that. This Miami group, we mentioned that score differential, just absolutely preposterous, but they did actually lead part of the third game of that series in the first period. They had 2 early goals in that one and were up 2-1, but then shortly after they succumbed to 10 unanswered. Here come the Owls' first shot towards Hoffman, and that one is gobbled up off of Drew Renzi's blade.
Just pulled the puck back, took a shot, beat the defender, just couldn't go in the goal.
Yeah, Renzi had a point-blank chance after he skated into the low slot area. So Miami, a little bit of surprise, but with the power play, they take care of business. And I don't think it was one of your keys to the game, Wes, but I think we had an idea that their power play and special teams is going to have to be a factor if they want to be the better team in this game.
Well, that's just going to affect any team. If you're playing down a player on the ice, you're not going to be able to score as well. The other team is going to have way more chances, going to score way more goals.
It's impressive, though. And so far, they look up to the test. The Hurricanes do in front of the net, trying to center it up. Renzi wanted to find his captain, Watson, and just missed it. 13:34, the official time of the goal. Miami will fling this down the ice from Max Phillips. Gets towards Fisher as an opportune play inside, getting to the puck. And all of this pressure, a bit surprising. You would have thought FAU was going to come out as the faster team, but it looks like a little bit of a sluggish start for them.
Yeah, and that was almost a goal, too. It just took Seth Fisher diving out to cover that puck to stop that from becoming a goal.
Yeah, we've talked about Fisher and how good he was when he needed to be in spots. I think they recognize that with the talent they have at the goaltending position, this program, that Rocco Bruno and McMillan, as that shot is again saved by Fisher, means that they would have to be on this M3 team and have to wait their turn. But I think it's as competitive of a goaltending room as ever, and Andrew Yagoda expressed that to us yesterday. 12:42 to go in this first period. Miami up 1-0 as the Owls are trying to answer. This one's blocked down, and a good movement by McGuire, up but not out, holding the line, skating wide. Owls center it up. Unable to handle that one was Carter Baker, or rather Justin Lopes. Towards the net again, unders. Almost finding a lane. Nick Andonovsky. Soft shot, never got towards Hoffman as Lopes put it wide to the left of the goal. 12:06. And FAU, quick change. And, you know, it's still very early in this, but not as much flair and playmaking ability as you would have expected. They have had some looks on Hoffman, but not nearly as much as Seth McMillan is. The Hurricanes are doing damage. Now skating alone as FAU looks to get some changes on. This one's put into the glove of Hoffman. Off of the shot attempt from Comtois Tuman. Out of Boca Raton right here, hometown kid. You mentioned as the new additions to this roster, as many as 11 players this year were added after 5 players moved up to Division II with the likes of Peter Petito, Aaron Lentz, their captain, Campagne, which was a bit of a surprise considering that he was a steady presence for this M3 group, although he absolutely deserves it. A guy that was part of that men's 2 group that went to the national final against Florida a couple of years ago. FAU trying to find an answer. They put one on the goal. Hoffman stick save. This one is still loose, now found on the left side. Upper blue line, and we've got an arm in the air, and it could be another call coming up here.
I think that's going to be roughing on number 13 at FAU. I just saw him go in the box.
And you're correct. So another costly penalty for FAU. Giving Hurricanes the chances, and so far they have looked like the better team in this first 10 minutes.
Well, obviously, if you're a team that's basically destroyed another team for all of last season, it's frustrating to come back and be down 1-0 early in the game. So I think it's just a little bit of those frustrations coming out, maybe talking a little bit, maybe a little kind greetings between FAU and the University of Miami team.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure Andrew Yagoda understands that a lot and wants his team to get to their system. But Miami right now, this is an opportune point where you can get on the board early, which they have, and increase the lead where you really don't give FAU time to get themselves going. But a costly turnover in their own zone as the Owls shorthanded try to make the move. Renzi lost handle. Unable to find it under his wickets was Chris Michelini. First power play, penalty kill group out there for the Owls. .115 to go in the power play. Moving over the line, Astulian defended well. FAU showing a bit of man coverage, trying to pressure. Put one towards the front of the net. Astulian never got the shot off. He was well defended and pinned down to the ice, and Astulian rubs his face. He looks like he might be hurt. Renzi shorthanded trying to move in. Hoffman came slightly out of his crease to poke check that play away from a shorthanded Drew Renzi. And that player that roughed up Astulian was Connor Moriarty, wearing number 3 in this game tonight. One-timer, fanned on by Watson. Elian Astulian up at the point. And back to retreat goes Miami. So a pretty good penalty kill. This one a lot better than the first after they allowed the first goal to Riker Ferry. Quick turnover, and I think they're going to call this one offside as it just barely got outside of the blue line on this left side of the ice.
FAU looks kind of, I don't want to say lazy, but they look a little tired on defense. There was one, they just finished the play up here, and it was a pass out, and he couldn't get a stick on it. He just kind of kicked it with his skate away, and a Miami player took it and took it up the ice.
Oh, look how this puck hit the referee and stopped momentum, but regardless, the penalty is going to be over. Out of the box quickly will come A.J. Berry for that roughing. So 1 for 2 goes the Hurricanes on this power play tonight. This one's shot towards the goal. Up off the far mantle of the glass, stopped at the blue line. Transitions lower, high to low. And after it, Brendan Moore on the wing. Drops it off, they cycle it back to the middle. Trying to get it across for a deep pass, and they get it through. FAU trailing the play well to the half boards and swung out. Miami has to just dump it and go off for some changes. Comtois Tuma tries to get it out, and just like that, they give a little bit of a costly turnover. It looks like they're trying to stretch the play out too quickly, Wes, and it's costing them with turnovers.
Yeah, obviously they're trying to move fast. They're trying to hit hard. They're trying to move big.
Miami's the one trying to bit hard right now.
Yeah.
Ricky Castrocani tried to level an FAU forward on the near boards here.
Massive hit.
Christopher Iannicelli, that's your welcome to the ACHA moment for a freshman. Stopping this puck. Hoffman, who has not been tested too hard. Let's see if FAU can mount some pressure along the far boards. Put to the middle through a number of bodies. Well defended that time by Kyle McGuire. And over the right side, look out.
And all it takes is one shot to tie this game up. And sometimes it's a bad thing to not be tested that much because you're not all the way warmed up. You're not all the way ready, especially in first games. You haven't seen live play before. This is your first time all season seeing live play. So maybe it's a little rust to shake off. Maybe this isn't as big as a differential as we think it is.
Yeah, this Miami team only won 4 games last year when they were in AAU Men's 3. Started it against Florida Tech, swept USF, which was a bit of a surprise to some people, and then North Florida, they took care of business. So you've got a Miami team that struggled against the teams that were more organized than them, but took care of the ones with a little bit less skill than them, as Hoffman saves that shot attempt from the blue line by Jake Bucci-Gross. And credit to them in this group, it is not their complete ACDC roster, as they have some players mixed in that were on the men's 2 team last year. And in the ACHA, you have, I believe it's 5 games or so to declare your roster for both teams on the season. So they're playing the ACDC team tonight, FAU is, and then the men's 3 tomorrow, which will count for their ranking or their standings. However, it's pretty much the same team we're looking at on the ice that we might see tomorrow. It's Tom. Mello in this group are getting ready for what is going to be an interesting year, to say the least, in their new conference. 7:02 to go in this first period. It's all Hurricanes right now. FAU trying to have something to say about it. Rothamich slammed to the board, shot through to Hoffman, and another nice glove stop, as sprawling out was Sam Watson. So interesting, Hoffman's play here. Not a lot of rebound chances, not a lot of scramble plays. He looks calm and collected in net.
Yeah, especially on that one shot that the puck skittled out towards the center ice, took a slap shot, pretty hard shot. It looked like he just grabbed that pretty easily, just snatched it right out of the air, changed possession, right out of the faceoff.
Miami has that possession. Once again over right wing, they'll race after Chris Michelini. Into the slot, shot towards Fisher. That one's swallowed up in his pads with no rebound from Riker Ferry. First goal scorer of this game on the power play. They'll take this to the left wing circle. Take it in. Will be Riker. And another good draw. This one's tied up, though, at the near half boards. It's found by FAU. Racing right wing, a chance towards the net. Hoffman again in his pads. The shot came that time from number 13. And you might notice, full transparency here, we've got temporary numbers. Now, we understand the jerseys take a while to come in, and sometimes you don't have all of the details figured out logistically. A.J. Berry, we're going to be pausing for a little while to get this figured out. So, yeah, you notice. We'll just relay the elephant in the room here. But they do look nice. I hope they use this set more this year. The red and blue tarps with the owls on the bottom of the jersey. This one's saucered into the air, knocked off the top of the guardrail, as Riker Ferry looked for nobody in particular, and it was turned over and held onto. This one's collected back. Carter Baker, right wing, put one in the middle. They were trying to set up Bryce Malcolm and just missed him. Fisher doesn't know where this puck is. Riker Ferry behind. Lets it skip under himself. After chase it, pushed his man in. Michelini said his name a lot. Kyle McGuire has the puck, and Miami is offside. Just barely on that far side was Elian Astulian.
And this game has really started to come down to being a back-and-forth game. FAU having their opportunities on their side, then Miami just coming right back. and having their chances again on their side as well.
Yeah, and it is interesting how we heard from Andrew Yagoda about discipline being a fast team, right? Well, when they play in their structure, they can be one of the best teams, and we'll see what that looks like. Here's an opportunity to the right side. Hoffman, left pad stop, and it's flipped into the protective netting. But he harped on a lot that they have to play in their routine. They have to have their speed and execution. If you don't have those things and it's a slugfest and it's slow like Miami's trying to play, that plays into the favor and makes this more even.
And also slugfest can also be low scoring as well because everyone's just hitting each other, the puck skittering all over the place.
There was a nice opportunity. Hoffman again was ready with that left pad. They'll cycle it up top to the point. Now back down low. And it's turned over. Found under the legs and racing back. Shot from Fisher, or to Fisher, never got through. This one is carried by Watson. Dropped it off, trying to find Drew Renzi, and they just don't connect. This top line out here for the Owls. Unable to handle that was McGuire. Gave it back up. Towards the middle, Renzi trying to find a lane. Here's Watson. And this one is whistled back for an icing. Oh, is there going to be a call coming up here?
There was a slash down there.
Oh, my goodness. I thought this went back in FAU zone over the red line. You're right, Wes. And is it another penalty on FAU?
Yeah, I actually saw the whole thing happening because I saw one of the Miami players was kind of just like hip checking him a little bit, trying to get under his skin. And number 11 on FAU, sorry, apologize for not knowing the name by number yet, just whacks him with this stick and he goes down. That was a horrible penalty to take. You have to keep your emotions under control, especially when you're losing to a team that statistically you should beat. So that's a horrible penalty by FAU.
And that's a slashing call on Drew Renzi again. He had the first one of this game, and it led to the Riker Ferry power play goal in the first 5 minutes. So Miami gifted 3 power plays to start this game. For an FAU group trying to find themselves. We're live from Boca Raton. Season opener for both of these teams. This is technically an exhibition, but we know tomorrow will be against the men's 3 team, and it could be a lot of the same faces we see on the ice tonight for Miami. They're on the attack, up to the point, putting this puck even lower. And this one tipped through, and they score. Boy, a redirected shot from the right side, and that might be Riker Ferry again leading the line. He's got 2 power play goals, and that's the lead for Miami.
And those shots are so hard to stop because you think you know where the puck is going, so you position yourself ready to stop that. Then it just goes off another player, and it's through your legs. That just happened there. Really unlucky, but great hockey by University of Miami to put that one through.
That initial shot from the point came from Max Mensimer, who will get the assist. And just like that, stunned FAU crowd here to our right. FAU down by 2 to a Miami group that has come out charging, and they have been the better team in this period. It's going to be an icing by the Owls, and it will go to the right of Seth Fisher. 3:30 to go in this first period. Miami is now 2 for 3 on the special teams. And so far, this has not played into the strategy and the game plan for this FAU group that, I mean, you said it, point blank. This is a little surprising considering how Miami finished last year, only winning 4 games on the year total. But it's a new year, as they say.
Yeah, new year, new me.
And it's a new Hurricane group. 3:18 left in this first. FAU trying to control in the left wing. Coughed up. Open lane to shoot towards Fisher. That pinged off the iron. I think that caught a body of Matthew Callahan. It came from Remy Kagan, and the Owls have a rush the other way. Watson drop pass, looks towards the net. Sharp angle shot. First try, second one, skitters wide. and play from the half board. Watson loses it. It's a lone race for Callahan. He finds a lane towards the net. He rang iron again. And Fisher sprawls out for the stop and a late hit behind the play. And this could be another one. Some shoving as Fisher comes out and will walk away from that. Callahan's not happy about that late hit from FAU. And I think they're going to send somebody here.
Jake Buchagras kind of just whacked him right in the face. I think that's going to be a penalty on number 2, Jake Buchagras.
Yeah, good call there. It was well after the play stopped. Callahan caught the piece of the iron again 2 times in the last minute. And we're going to have some numbers being put on the board. For now, it's on both sides. Callahan is going on the board for Miami. They're going to call William Comtois-Tuma into the box as well. So this could be a 4-on-4 situation here for the Owls. And we'll get a look at some open ice. This could just be what FAU needs, considering we talked about, or you did in the pregame, Wes, about the speed being the advantage for this FAU group. But they're kind of being out-muscled and they're shooting themselves in the foot at times.
The speed that they're trying to go for, I think, is maybe becoming a little bit of a disadvantage here, because I think they're just playing too fast, trying to get to the spots way too quickly.
Yeah, good call. Trying to speed the game up. Sometimes you have to simplify things, especially in game number 1. Some open ice. Miami finds this puck underneath Brendan Moore. Moore gets pushed to the boards. He'll go one-on-one, race after it. Connor Moriarty is there. Help coming from the back end of it. Reclaiming possession for Moore. Up to the point. Shot tip redirected through. And a good stop by Fisher on a shot that went off the blade of Jack Jusko. 2:07 left. We will have roughly a minute or and change of 5-on-5 if we get back to that without an infraction. Here's a soft shot, saved by Fisher. Rebound given up, second try, trying to power forward it through to the net. The shot totals will be interesting to find out at the end of this period, but I bet that it's going to be in favor of this Miami group that has looked sound, calm, collected, and taken the most of their chances. Over the line, right side, Elian Astulich gets behind, in front of the defense, backhand, and he scores! What a pretty goal from Elian Astulian. It's 3-0 Miami.
That was a really nice goal, switching from his forehand to his backhand, just to flip it right in front of his pad. It's really nice, really good hockey by Miami.
Found that lead pass, and FAU just looked soft in their end. Fisher was giving up a few rebounds, and that's another time where they have 2 bodies on one, and his speed gets behind. This is turning out to be quite the shock in this first period as Miami is taking care of business in FAU's territory. 1:17 to go on the clock. Still in the box is Comtois-Tuma along with Callahan. 25 more seconds in that. 4-on-4. And the Owls have got to get going. They've got a minute left. Shot towards Hoffman off the blocker, save. Collected and carried out by Chris Meschalini. Pushed in the offensive zone. Out of the box, we're back to 5-on-5. Comtois-Tuma racing right in. That's Sam Watson. Top line back out there. Watson return feed. Gives it in the backhand, and that one's left pad stopped. Still underneath Hoffman. Now they'll call the whistle. And that was a prime opportunity, perhaps the best we've seen from this FAU group from William Comtois-Tuma.
And you mentioned early in the game about how Miami, in their most recent game before this, they started the first period pretty close, but then eventually FAU ran away with it, scoring 10 unanswered. Does 3-0 look a little different than 2-1 or 2-0 that they had in the first period last year?
Yeah, and we said the score mark. It was a heavily favored series in FAU they completely dominated. But this Miami group, we know they've got a mixture of those M2 players, but these are the competition that this FAU team is going to face all year long, as this is a power play now for FAU. We didn't mention this one. They score! There it is. William Comtois-Tuma, his first as an Owl, and they answer back. It's 3-1.
That was an excellent assist in the corner too. William Comtois-Tuma was just putting the puck right past the University of Miami goaltender. Just great vision, just seeing him right there to put it up.
Yeah, beautiful backdoor feed. Miami overcommitted to this right side, and a good job to get it past Hoffman, who was really comfortable in this first period. But that's just the kind of answer you need if you're Andrew Yagoda and this Owl team. Their first of the year comes at the 19:37 mark of this first period.
The first goal of the year also coming from a freshman from Boca Raton, a hometown kid.
How about that? Your first game, we know family on hand here. It's a great FAU crowd. Only the men's 3 team is playing this weekend. We'll see men's 2 in action against Florida next week, where they will have a ceremonial puck drop. I don't know if there's a banner yet. I hope there is. What an impressive national championship that was for FAU's men's 2 squad. They were dominant, to say the least, in that national tournament. And sort of a redemption story after they were upset by Florida the year prior. We have an extensive stoppage of play. Both leadership men for Miami are on the ice talking to officials. That's Ellie and Astulian. About what, I'm not sure. But the clock is stopped at 23.5 seconds after the goal by William Comtois-Tuma, his first as an FAU men's 3 player. And we'll just have to wait on this one. There could have been something behind the play, Wes. I was not paying attention to.
I didn't see anything. Maybe there's just been some extra chippy, some like extra words being said. Maybe there's just some like cheap shots going on that the refs aren't exactly catching. As an official, you don't see everything. That's just human nature. I don't know what they're talking about.
It's a 4-man crew here tonight. Very promising to see. Sometimes you'll see 2 officials, 1 linesman. And this conversation is dragging on. It's been almost a minute and a half, and they're, I think, going to put a Miami player in the box. They were motioning 5-on-4 towards head coach Tom Amello. And if this looks right,
it's for Miami, 5 FAU right now. Is that going to be a power? Oh, they're putting the power play. Looks like it's on number 16 of University of Miami.
That's Evan Sadakis.
Couldn't tell what he did.
Yeah, we had no indication, no signal from the ref. They got to get the clock right. It says 1:49 on the power play, but it's really 2 minutes. You've got 23 seconds of time. This will be the first power play of the game for this Owl team. And it will carry into the second if we don't have a score or another infraction. So after the goal, let's see if they can carry that momentum. It's racing in after it. It's on the right side. Miami trying to play keep away. Sam Watson stops the motion of the puck. Miami smartly just carries it out, backhand by Astulian, and that will do it for the period. So after it was all Miami capitalizing on the special teams, 2 power play goals, it's William Comtois-Tuma, his first as an Owl and the first in the ACHA, that answers. It's 3-1 headed to the break, and a big surprise for one that's turning out to be a show. Don't go anywhere. We'll have your intermission report coming up next right here on Owl TV. You're watching game number 1 for Men's Division 3 in the ACHA. Back with you from Boca Raton for game number 1 of this young season for FAU and Miami AC/DC. Devin Serra with you for the intermission report. A shocking first period to some FAU fans after Miami came out buzzing. They're 2 for 3 on the power play, and they are up 3-1 after 20 minutes in this one. Had it not been for a heroic effort by William Comtois-Tumont with 23 seconds left, this game would be handily controlled by Miami as they outshoot the Owls in that first period, and they get the special teams going. 2 goals from Riker Ferry back-to-back after 2 penalties by Drew Renzi in that first period, along with a roughing, lead to Miami capitalizing on some sluggish play. FAU trying to get out of the gates going. We know head coach Andrew Yagoda stressed the importance of getting in their system, playing with speed, and being efficient. But this one's turned into a little bit of a slugfest, and right now that's playing into Tom Imanelli's squad over there on the Hurricane side. So the only goal scorers in this one are Riker Ferry, Elian Estulian with a nice forehand-backhand move late in that third, and then the first of his ACHA career for Comtois-Tumont. Get you an out-of-town scoreboard briefly. Our hockey or college hockey south game of the week between Austin Peay State University and Eastern Kentucky. Austin Peay is dominating in this one, up 5-0. Our Austin Peay in that game after Eastern Kentucky. Both teams really struggled in AAU Men's 3 last year, and those are 2 programs that FAU is competing directly with. So it's important for FAU fans as we get through this season. It's still young to look around the league at the 18 Men's 3 squads this year. But right now we're looking at an exhibition, but right now it's all Miami as they are buzzing right now, taking it to this FAU team on home ice. We'll see what FAU has. They will begin the second period with a power play, 1:37 of time for that. So we will be back with you in 5.5 minutes for game 1 in the second period here on Owl TV. Back with you from Boca Ice Center, Boca Raton, Florida. Game number 1 of this first game between Miami, AC/DC, and your FAU Owls, who are down 3-1 in this game. A bit of a surprise, this one, as we resume play. I'd like to bring in our guest tonight here on color commentary, Sydney Nina, new to FAU. Welcome, by the way.
Happy to be here.
You are part of the FAU Owl soccer team, a very impressive NCAA Division I. But introduce yourself a little bit more to the fans at home.
Yeah, like you said, I'm on the women's soccer team here at FAU. I am a junior, and I am also majoring in sports journalism. So looking into this game, I mean, it's something definitely insightful, so yeah.
What are the similarities you're seeing between your game and what's happening with this FAU team? And give us your honest assessment of what you've seen so far.
Oh yeah, definitely a fight for sure, and always aggressiveness is something we see key for this game. One thing that we can see is penalties are making this game play. We can see throughout this, when one goes down, that they're going in, and they're, as you can see, the score is 3-1. Miami's capitalizing on that. Yeah,
capitalize is the key word. This group didn't expect to come in being even on the 5-on-5, but this FAU team's looked a little bit sluggish at times. I'm sure you know about how when you get out of the gates rough, it can kind of set a tone for the rest of those couple minutes. But FAU got one at the end of that period, the first for William Comtois Tuman. Hopefully that's a spark for them. Do you think that matters at all? Do you think that gives them a little bit of motivation?
Oh yeah, absolutely. One thing my coach says, and through the first 45, you have 15, 15, 15. So as soon as you can get into it, how fast can you transition? And now we're seeing this and going into the second period.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Certainly, and it's in a very important second period because FAU starts on the power play now after back-to-back penalties on Miami. We got clarification on what the call was behind the play. It was a cross-checking on Evan Sudeikis after the celebration by FAU on the goal, which led to that power play. Well, reverse sides, FAU will go from right to left. And in net for Miami with Max Hoffman, who has been sharp. Right now he's faced 23 shots. He's saved 22. I'll tell you what, Sydney, it really does not feel like the shots are even. It's 24-23 FAU.
Yeah, it's something that you normally do not see, especially with a score like this. But we will see as this game gets underway in our second period.
A bit of a frustrating offsides. 1944, we welcome you into this one. If you're just joining us, it was all Miami in that first period. They were up 3-0. Back-to-back goals from Riker Ferry, both on the power play, and then an even strength from Elian Astulian got things even more stretched out. FAU trying to answer, though, on this power play up at the point. They'll slide it left side, reverse field, giving it back down low. This is the second power play group out here now. Looking towards the net, behind the goal, in front, nobody home in the low slot area, and it comes back to the point. Held down well, though. This one flutters through a couple of bodies once again, up for grabs, and Watson can't find it under himself. Still controlling this one, however, with 45 left to go. One-time blast. Oh, look out. That one caught the shin of a Miami player in front. That's Max Mensimer. Well, he's going to feel that one tomorrow. He assisted on the second goal from Riker Ferry in this one. Shorthanded comes Miami, just trying to kill some time. Losing an edge and having to race back was Jake Turlick. Turlick stops it. Watson got it back. Watson with some room, shoots off the top of the crossbar. Oy, this new leadership trying to find an answer, and that's going to be a frustrating one. We saw Miami ring iron twice in that first period, both within a minute of each other, and a good first opportunity. 2 seconds left. Out of the box comes Evan Sudeikis, and he will jump right into the play.
And what a shot by Watson, the junior, just a second ago in transition as they're back on their side.
Yeah, you see him able to find open space around that defense. Good cycle by the Owls on that time, but they are now 1 for 3 on the power play. They turn it over to the Hurricanes. Back in front, backdoor opportunity, and nobody was there ready. It was Mensimer out racing the streaking Owl forward on the weak side. I believe that was Comtois Tuman again. This one's pinned up into the wickets of a white and green sweater. And there's Hoffman behind, settling things down. Back to retrieve it will be Mensimer. Return feed now racing up ice. Quickly, Michelini over the line towards, and they score! Oh my goodness, Seth Fisher is going to want that one back. A soft shot from the top of the right wing circle, and Chris Michelini extends the lead back to 3.
And what a way to find the pocket into the back of the net.
Oh, it's sort of a weird shot. That one looked like it went through the pad between his glove and his left pad. That's a stuck piece of equipment there, and that one's going to sting. Those are a goaltender's worst nightmare. Sort of an awkward angle, just trying to snuff it under his elbow towards his pad. And unfortunately for FAU, they are now back to a 3-goal deficit. Michelini out of New Canaan, Connecticut. Played extended minutes with the men's 2 squad last year, 15 games, and only registered 2 goals. That's his first goal as a member of this men's 3 team. And that one is going to sting if you're an Owl fan at home, because it looked like FAA was just getting something going. You said it, Watson rang iron, but can't find pay dirt. 16:50 to go in the second period. Owls need an answer back. They get into the offensive zone. Some open ice to work on the net. Hoffman, first save, second try, cleared out by his D-man in front, Ricky Castracani. Slammed to the boards. Connie sidesteps a hit by Renzi. Gets to the defense, or rather that was Rothamich. Now racing back to retrieve it, Remy Kagan. Back to the blue line, towards the net, trying to look for a redirection. Hoffman was ready, arm up in the air. We've got a delayed call coming up on the Hurricanes if they can touch it, and now they do. And power play is coming up for FAU. Who are they going to get? Arms still in the air. Officials have been taking their time with these calls tonight. I'm wondering if it's for a trip. Let's see, they're going to send number 28 to the box. I don't like it when the officials don't give us a signal, Sydney.
Yeah, it definitely does pause the game for a moment, which is what we do not like to see at all.
Yeah, they go to the scoring stand and they really tell the penalty to the scorekeeper what it is, but hurts us at home when you don't get a signal.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless, let's see what they put in the box. I see a 2 and a 2. Unlisted player on my roster for now, if that's the case. But regardless, it's going to be a 4th power play for the Owls in this one. They're 1 for 3. Their lone power play goal was at the end of the 3rd from Comtois Tuma. But an errant face-off win gets back to their own zone. Short-handed, look out, Fisher! And that one caught a piece of his apparel up into the netting, and now we're going to get a draw in their own zone. A very dangerous chance racing in was Jake Turlick. Turlick, a national champion with this Miami group back in 23-24 under Tom Amello. Extensively played with men's 2 last year, 10 goals, 6 assists. And right now, FAU can't find possession of this puck. It's dumped in once more by Turlick. That'll kill off more time, and now the Owls finally will find some possession of it. Low race up left wing. Here's Sam Watson, gets around one defender. Wanted the stretch pass, cut off on a good lane made by Evan Zadakis. Owls still trying to get this puck back, but shorthanded. Here come Turlick and the Hurricanes towards the net. That one sailed wide. Now with numbers to the strong side. Up right wing, they've got a man in the middle waiting for it. Shot, they score! Power play goal. It's John Bayona.
And what a shot to the upper left of the goal. And you see, that's what FAU needs to be seen at this moment. In transition, let the puck do its movement by itself, get the space, and then go for it as soon as you can.
That is the first of his ACHA career for the Royal Palm Beach, Florida native. product of the Florida Junior Panthers here in Florida. Gets things going for an FAU group that did not look great on that power play until that moment. So now they have 2 power play goals, and they're back within 2. Still a lot of time left in this one. We are just nearing the halfway mark. Sydney Nino, Devin Serra with you for this second period. Wes Moore will join us as we rejoin the third. But right now, FAU is trying to get in the attacking position. That one slid through the low slot area with nobody ready to pick it up. Hoffman wants to settle this down. Remy Kagan, his defenseman, is there to redirect traffic. Riker Ferry has it up right wing. He'll go over the blue line. Drop pass. This one is Elian Astulian. 3rd goal of the game he had. Turn it over, FAU. And Watson come back through to the left wing. And if you're Andrew Goda right now, a lot more speed being shown out of this team. But they've had to use the special teams. Nice move. Astulian's on the backhand. And a toe drag swag. Good stop by Fisher to prevent his second of the night. So it's moved up ice. Comtois Touma, who had his first 2 freshmen for this FAU group. Answering, we talked about the new players. As many as 10 in this roster tonight. It took a little bit of time, but they might just be getting themselves going. Elian Astulian taken out with the right leg. He got sandwiched hard. Miami keeping the pressure on. Fisher out of the net, plays it second try as racing Astulian all over the place on this Miami forecheck. And it's flipped out of the zone. Look out, kids, as that one doesn't hit anybody, luckily. And that'll stop play. We'll probably get a face-off in the neutral zone.
Yeah, and like you said just a moment ago, several new faces for the Owls, and maybe that's just what it is. Just a little bit of uneasiness, trying to figure out one another, but as soon as they can we figure out how we can move it and how we can relax and calm and slow the game down.
Tell us maybe what it's like to be a young player. You're coming into a program with a lot of people similar to you. But if you're a young player trying to establish yourself, what are some things that you try and focus on when you're in high-pressure situations?
Yeah, it's definitely on settling at first, especially when you're coming to a new environment, you're meeting all these new people, and you're trying to fit for that spot, the same spot as many others. But what you can do in that situation is, one, what can you control? And that's your work ethic, and then how can you help others around you? That's the biggest thing you can do, and then from there, the team supports you.
Yeah, and that's a big point by Andrew Yagoda is they have to have a consistent work ethic. We haven't seen it yet in this game, but they're starting to get it clicking. 13:30 to go in this second period. Miami is up 4-2. This is their ACDC squad, quote unquote, and we're not talking about the band. The American Collegiate Development Conference this year is a new league. Here comes the Hurricanes on an odd man rush just for a moment, and they missed the net wide. That one was point blank almost on Fisher. An opportunity from the point. This one slid well wide. Clog in the middle is a heap of Owls. They'll get 2 men to the puck on this right side. And one thing I've noticed with them is they have gotten 2 men to 1 puck a couple of times, fighting for this puck on the strong side. Bartoshevich, first time we've said his name tonight, the sophomore of Nashua, New Hampshire. We'll forward this ahead. Given back to the Owls. First time we've talked about that 4th line tonight. It's a new group. And from one knee, slid through, and we've got a whistle, arm in the air, and this one could be a penalty coming up here on Miami. And it is.
Number 22.
I thought that one might have been for a trip, as you might have seen in the upper half of your screen, an FAU player sliding from their knees. That's Ricky Castrocani to the box. Miami, who's allowed 2 power play goals. They've scored 2 of their own now, has to go back to this kill. And, you know, Sydney, we were talking about the sluggish play and costing mistakes by FAU. Well, that's a big one for Miami right now.
Yeah, it definitely feels like their energy has kind of been depleted just a little bit. We'll see how it goes throughout the duration of the game. But can we see if the Owls, with the numbers up at the moment, can go and get another one in the back of the net?
A short side attempt as Hoffman snuffed that one out with no rebound. So we'll do this draw again to the left. Now this officiating crew, 4 men tonight, have called it pretty down the middle. FAU is 2 for 4 on their power plays. Miami is also 2 for 4 on my score sheet. We'll get those official marks for you at the end of the second, but with 12:17 to go, it's still a lot of time, and right now is the point, if you're an FAU fan, where you feel like they can turn this momentum and this ice tilt, you'll call it, in their favor with a couple of opportunities. They haven't tested Hoffman too much, at least frequently, with second and third chance opportunities. Face off out of the zone as FAU won it, but having to race back for it in a heap against Elian Astulian. This one's carried by Connor Strum. One of those, call him veteran players. He's a junior, one of 6 on this FAU squad. Over the right wing. Carried ahead. This is Drew Renzi quarterbacking this power play. On the right side, Watson could not find a shot lane as he had a host of trouble from Evan Zidakis. Fisher out of his net to settle things down once again. Over the blue line. Carried left wing. Renzi once more. Will cycle it along the far end of the boards. Ride that side. Kicked along by Malcolm. Up to the point. Still keeping it wide. Miami clogging up the middle of the ice. 40 seconds to go in this power play. Looking for a one-time feed, and that one slid under the blade of Rothamich and all the way back to FAU zone. That'll allow Miami to make 2 changes on the ice. They'll get Riker Ferry with 2 goals on this second half of the kill. To the right side, some open ice. Sprawling through. They had a man in front with Rothamich, and they couldn't get it home. Now Astulian out of the zone, hit by himself. Low man erased it as Zidakis, and now that allows Miami to get their entire penalty kill group changed. 6 seconds to go in the power play. One last rush opportunity from the left side. Sharp angle, scores! 3rd power play goal, and it's Drew Renzi. They don't get much prettier than that, Sydney.
No, they do not. What a shot. And right now, this arena feels electric with this home advantage.
And they call that one a bottle rocket. Tipped the back of the crossbar over the shoulders of Max Hoffman. And for a guy that Andrew Yagoda expects a lot out of this year in Drew Renzi, a leader in his own right, that is a massive goal. Halfway through this second, FAU is within 1. Miami has led by 3 goals twice in this game, but this is the closest margin they've had since the 15-minute mark of the first. So back to work. Both teams go. Shot to Fisher off of his low pads. This one kicks to the near half boards. A tie up for it just momentarily, and it's flipped into the glove softly for him. How about that? Watson gets the assist, his 2nd of the night. He had the Comtois Tuma power play. And that puts FAU now, I thought this would be at first a struggling mark after they went 1 for 3, but now they are 3 for 5 on the power play advantages. Outscoring Miami. It's been the key to this game is the special teams. 5 goals in total. Turnaround shot, got to McMillan, easy stick save. This one's flown through the right circle and flipped out of the boards. I thought for a second they were going to get Carozzo for a pie hitting, but it'll just be a face-off in their own zone with 9:47 left. So face-off to the right of Fisher. Won by FAU, and they swarm the bodies. Miami does. Trying to cough this up. It's been a very key part of their game is puck support. They've had 2nd and 3rd chance opportunities all night. This one fluttered through the front. That one hit a body off the back and went from the stanchion glass behind the goal. Player down on the ice now, knee down, and this one's going to cause some shoving. Arm up in the air. A very dangerous position that was for, I didn't catch the FAU player, but down on the ice. I mean, Sydney, you're talking about 2-3 feet from a skate blade to your neck. That is a scary situation to be in. You don't want to see that. Of course, A lot of players are starting to wear the neck guards, actually, that are required by USA Hockey standards, but some players are grandfathered, as they say, and they don't have to wear them as much. Regardless, though, it looks like we're going to get some infractions coming up.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something I would not recommend whatsoever. Close to me.
Waiting for the scorekeepers to put this infraction on the board. It is a rough, by the way, for both teams, assessed. Official indicated, pointing at 2 people over in that far corner. So this is going to be some more open ice to work with. And for FAU, which has all been their power play success, this is their time to use the speed to their advantage. But this Hurricane group, look out, Ellie and Astulian, rough to the boards in a hard way. Gets up gingerly. Sam Watson then allows a break. They've got odd man numbers if they hurry. Try to drop it for Rothamich. They keep it onside for now, but Miami regains possession. Astulian. Said his name a lot tonight. He's been their main puck carrier. Kyle McGuire is there to help him out. Support coming on the back end by Zadakis. Forwarded for Riker Ferry, who connects and twirls around a man. Up left wing alone. Towards Fisher, and he'll gobble this one up into his paraphernalia. And an extra shove by Watson on Ferry. And that's the kind of stuff that these officials have not taken lightly to in this game. Lucky Watson gets the skid away from that one unharmed.
No, and rightfully so. I mean, safety in this game is top priority here. But it's the aggressiveness we need.
Hey, this isn't soccer, all right? Safety is important, but I don't know if they consider it the most important thing. No, actually, very, very accurate point. The game has gotten a lot safer, a lot more constructive. Players are just learning how to take hits, especially nowadays, and you're not seeing as many of those awkward falls and guys slamming into a board trying to finish a play. It is game number 1. You don't want to see either side like that get crunched. That was a nice hip check laid out there by number 14. That was Connor Strum. Frees up the stretch pass. That one was a beauty. 2-on-1 nearly develops. They do backdoor chance, and that went off the right pad of Hoffman, and they were trying to get the streaking man Carter Baker on the back door. Now Miami in transition. Astulian posts up. He'll leave it up top to the point, looking, stolen away. It's Drew Renzi trying to go to another. Alone to the net. Somehow stopped in the putback. Scores!
What a follow through. And that's how you follow up a play right there.
That one is tick for tat as Renzi's shot doesn't go, but the follow-up does. It's the first of his career by Christopher Iannicelli at Alithia, Florida. In the open ice 4-on-4, this one is tied at 4.
And this second period is just what the Owls needed to get back on the right foot.
You could say that again. This is 3 unanswered for this FAU group that was down by 3 in this game twice. The first of his career. 3 different Owl freshmen have scored tonight. Drew Renzi has assisted now on 2 of those. And back to the 5-on-5. This one is even. We've got ourselves, as they say, a brand new hockey game. This one to the right wing circle, looking for a chance. Short side, Hoffman made the initial stop. He got support from his defense in front. Out of the neutral zone, this one's flipped back to the zone. Hoffman out to play it as 2 bodies go flying into the zone. That was initially Joe Congero. Catches up, misses that puck. Allows Miami to gingerly skate it out. But they've got odd numbers. Late hit coming through, and now FAU starting to get their bodies involved. You can tell they're really into their motion of play. Here's Comtois Tuan trying to get inside. Gets poke checked on the play, and the puck squirts out to the left side. Still in the zone. Nearly a streaking breakout. It's going to end up in no icing as Charlie Branderstein for Miami got to that puck first. He almost had a breakaway. out of the stanchion boards. Comtois Touma, nice move to get the puck free from Matthew Callahan. Shot towards Fisher, never got through. Bounces in this near half wall. Rims around the end boards. Caught up to and glove down, stick for a moment. Miami doing a good job holding the zone here. They try to go D to D. They mishandle it and having to retreat back. Owls have numbers caught up. Initially was Sam Watson. Jake Turlick slams a man to the boards, and this one is just looking a little bit more physical. This doesn't feel like an exhibition game. It feels like two rivals duking it out. Game number 1 of this year. Jake Bucci-Gross slides through. Strong side of the puck, flies wide to the slot. Turnaround shot. That one also pushed over as Turlick got barreled over.
And great defensive work by Jake Bucci-Gross.
Backdoor, look out, Fisher's down, puck up for grabs. Owls get it out of the zone, some more shoving, and look out, Fisher getting a face full of shoves, and now the arm goes in the air. Brendan Moore shoved down to the ice Fisher once and twice, and I think they're gonna get Brendan Moore for that infraction. Fisher got slammed after Brendan Moore came flying in from the weak side. They crashed into the net, didn't come off its moorings. Owls did a good job getting it out of harm's way, but not without injury. Now, let's see what they put on the board here, because this, it's going to stay 5-on-5. I don't know. Brendan Moore, very, very lucky for Miami. Could have had more right there. It's 5:05 left in this one. Hurricanes find a free lane, short angle shot. Fisher caught a piece. It flutters to the far end where the Owls get 2 men to the puck. It's Watson, lead pass for Renzi, gets onside. Renzi through the legs of the defender. Couldn't find towards the net, tried to backhand it back into the play for Rothamich. It was intercepted. Hurricanes to the neutral zone. Caught up to Watson under his legs. Stolen away. They'll race through Riker Ferry. Ferry couldn't handle the initial pass. Wanted to return it back for Mensimer. Couldn't handle. Now the one-timer, look out, backdoor again. As Michelini looking for his second. They'll sandwich him on this near glass. It's loose for grabs. Fisher, what a stop with the left pad. He robs Michelini of his second goal. Miami, what a terrific last minute for them in this offensive zone, but that might be Fisher's best stop of this game.
Oh yeah, Fisher has definitely been putting in the work, stopping everything coming in his net.
Almost everything, but he's been very solid in this second period. Sometimes it's like that. You get off to a rough start, your team's not playing very well, and then you get your legs under them. Your team's in transition, and both teams now are looking at a totally different game. This was a slugfest at first, a lot of stoppages, a lot of mistakes, but, I mean, you see it right now. The energy's picked up in here.
Yeah, definitely. And two things that I would, or two people in particular that I would look at towards is Watson and Renzi, the two upperclassmen, the juniors, try to bring this team up. And like we said, the score is 4-4 right now. So what has to change? Them two, and our keepers and our other players as well, bringing the level up. Absolutely.
It starts up front, and those are two guys that Andrew Yagoda is looking to bring this crew, which lost almost their entire leadership last year. Credit to guys like Christian Cuccia, Aiden Georgiano, and Anthony Campagne for their efforts. But yeah, when you bring in some new leadership, you have to establish that tone, and it seems like they've done that better in this second period. We have a power play for the Owls on the board right now, as it's another Miami penalty kill. Ricky Castracani goes back to the box. So it's with 3:33 to go, an Owl team that is now 3 for 5. And it was too many men on the ice to call. So that's why we didn't initially announce it right away. But it's been all FAU. They have scored the last 3 on the power play. And here's another opportunity, getting inside of the net. Trying to power it home. They go back to the point. One-timer blast. That one just whistles wide after they had Comtois Tuma ready in the front on the slot area. Miami trying to block both sides of the net. Hoffman can't find that one as Comtois Tuma sails it high. 1:17 to go. FAU looking good right now as Watson, you just mentioned, puts that one around the left post. From the point, they'll slide right to left. Shift this first power play group. Hoffman off his angle just for a little bit there. And they score! 4 straight power play goals. The Owls have the lead.
And what a way to not let it out of that half. Consistently pressuring, trying to get it back into the net, and they finally do.
Boy, like a bullet, Andrew Rothamich. That short side, the pass came from behind the net, and I don't think Hoffman had any chance at stopping this one. It came out so quick on the release by Rothamich, right on the doorstep, and FAU has scored 4 unanswered on this power play. They are 4 for 6 in this game, and they have taken the lead for the first time tonight. Wow. And they're not done yet. Buccigross back to the slot. That's impressive stuff. If you're an FAU fan right now, look at this special teams effort. It hasn't been pretty, but it hasn't needed to be. 2:07 to go. They're looking for more. It's a race ensues for it. Out of the far half board, Brendan Moore gets roughed up, loses his glove. Rather, that was number 28 who lost his paraphernalia. And now this one's going to be high stick down without a call. Nearly a chance as Hoffman had to be sharp on the short side. And Watson gets the assist. So 5-4 with 1:19 left. Miami off the blade. This is a disenchanting third period or second period if you're this UM group. Fisher's down. Turnaround trying to wrap around the back of the goal, and that was a beauty. Fisher standing on his head. Prevents the wraparound try. And this could be another power play for FAU coming up.
And what a way to really put it all out there from Fisher.
Yeah, putting it all out there is that. I'm sure you know how crucial it is when a goalkeeper is keeping you in it.
Yep.
He's done that, and Moore allowed FAU to regain this lead.
And another thing we can see from the Owls is their defensive transition. As soon as the ball gets back onto their side of the half, how fast their numbers get back is really outnumbering Miami's.
So Drew Renzi will dig into this draw. He has a goal in this game. If you were wondering, yes, it is on the power play. Up at the point. They've got their 7th opportunity of the night with 40 to go in this period. Can they get 6? Watson directs this puck to the right side. Cut off in the near angle. Once more back to the point. Now this left side. They'll swing it. Wrap around this one. Hoffman at point blank. 20 to go in the period. Here's Watson, winds up, and that one got blocked in front. Tough play there for Max Mensimer, who's taken a couple off the shins. 10 to go from behind the goal. This one for Watson. Once again, trying to glove it down. Mensimer, 2 seconds left, and flipped up into the air. That will be it. A total reversal of the first, and 4 unanswered power play goals give the Owls the lead in this one. What a second period. What a game this is turning out to be. Sydney Nina, great job on color commentary. We hope to have you back for more. Appreciate you. Good luck with the FAU soccer team this year.
Yes, thank you for having me. And go Owls.
Go Owls. So, this FAU team does it again, and they have come all the way back. It's 5-4 as we hit the break. We'll resume in 15 and a half minutes on Owl TV. We're back with you at the new official home of FAU hockey, Boca Ice Center in Boca Raton, Florida. Devin Serra joined by new color commentator. You're my third one tonight, so welcome in. Joseph Lozeritis out of Boylston, Massachusetts. Joe, sophomore, welcome in. How was your off-season? Tell FAU fans what you've been up to.
So I'm always in the gym. That's my second home. Always in the gym, but
Coach loves to hear that.
yeah, obviously. But it was good. I think most of the boys were in the gym a lot more, which is good. And then I don't know. I was just amped up to get back and play more hockey.
Yeah, I asked you before if you got to celebrate with any of those men's 2 guys that won the Natty, and you mentioned to me, the rooms are different, but you guys still intertwine. And,
100%.
How has the chemistry been getting to know, especially these new guys on this team?
It's been good. I mean, we have some older rookies, which is nice because the experience. They played some juniors. We have a few 20, 21-year-old rookies, which is great because they've played the game for forever. So, like Bayona, AJ, those guys, they both played juniors for a while. But then we're still so young. So there's a lot of unexpected, but as of right now, we have a great group, and we're all really connected together, too.
You want to talk about unexpected. This game turned into one I don't think any of us expected, but 5 different goal scorers, 4 on the power play, unanswered for this FAU group. Bayona's one of the scorers. What do you assess of what's been able to be this field comeback for FAU?
Staying out of the box, number 1. That's what every single game, all the time, that's what usually shoots us in the foot. We're really skilled. We play usually a pretty physical game. I think we kind of aren't playing as physical as we could tonight, but on the power play, having a guy like Renzi, and then we had Booch behind the net too. It's Gretzky's office. That's what they're doing. And right now, setting it up behind the net, quick shots. It works so well.
And a good opportunity is the puck support. You see right there, nearly a short side chance for, I believe that was Rothamich.
Yep.
And this group specifically has been buzzing. This power play has been unstoppable. They've got 33 seconds left in it as we start the period, Joseph. Behind the goal. Trying to find one. That was Renzi. Oh, my goodness. He nearly set up.
Rosa's been playing great. Number 9. I think he's pound for pound probably our best player. He's just plays defense, plays offense. He's stud.
Yeah, and you mentioned Drew Renzi. Andrew Yagoda told us that he is expecting him to have a year like 10 goals, 50 assists, and if you do that, you guys will be successful.
We should be.
What makes him so important as a quarterback of this offense? Forecheck.
Everything he does, kind of the team flows off of him, especially when he's on the ice. The team really, he controls the puck so much, which is so great because he's so good at it. And really, it's just for the other guys, all it is getting open. That's what it just find space, get open, and even in practices, he has been so selfless. It's been amazing to watch and amazing to be a part of. He is going to have, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 20 goals and, like you said, 50 assists.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's a welcoming statistic as you guys lost basically your entire leadership core to the men's 2 team. Of course, Campagne and Georgiano, Cuccia going up. And I bet those guys have really impressed, and they're going to be great this year. This is Miami in their own zone trying to defend. FAU has gotten going well. This is another shot off of Hoffman. This guy at first was looking so calm and cool, collected. What's FAU done to get him uncomfortable?
Make him move. With the guy behind the net, make him move. I think it was Rothamich's goal. He was standing up straight. Just nothing you can do when you're moving behind the net.
So we got a delayed call coming up on FAU as falling down to the ice was Max Mensimer for Miami. And I believe they're going to get FAU with a trip here. Would be the first time in a while that we have seen FAU on a kill.
I think they got him actually.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh my! Because initially I thought since Miami's carrying the puck, as soon as an FAU player touches it, you're going to have the whistle. But yeah, you're right. Max Mensimer's going. This is now going to be the 6th straight power play for FAU. I mean, you said it. FAU can't shoot themselves in the foot. This Miami team just flipped an entire 180 over.
Yeah. And then it gives us another opportunity. I think we got our second unit going out there now, which Jake should be behind the net, but I think they have a different setup for this one, but we haven't seen them out there yet.
Yeah, and I believe that's A.J. Barry going in to take the draw. One of those, I guess you said experienced newcomers, like you mentioned.
100%.
Bucci Gross and Barry win the face-off. They get control of this puck on the left side, trying to cross-ice it in front. Hoffman comes out to dig the puck away and will stop play again. And you know what's gotten better is it felt like at first this fell into Miami's hands because it was kind of a slugfest, slow pace, a lot of face-offs. But FAU has actually been a lot better in the dots as this game has gone on.
Yeah, just bearing down and just winning draws.
It's as simple as that, right? Gain possession, and you know FAU has the speed. I mean, you guys dominated this Miami group. We know ACDC, it's a little different. This is essentially what the M3 team was in AAU last year. Of course, they got some M2 guys as well from last year mixed into this team tonight, but still. So FAU goes to work. 140, puts one in front on the doorstep, but that one is negated, flown away by Jake Turlick. And what do we got here?
High stick.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Would think so. No arms go up in the air, so yep. Adverse, but I think this is still going to take this puck out of the zone since it was FAU who was the one that touched it down. 17:45 to go in this third period. You're listening to Joe Lozeritis. And Joe, not in this game tonight, but we expect you to have a big year. You know, you and your team got that Nationals experience, it felt like, and a big win against Mass Maritime. You know, what do you think you learned the most from last year that you want to see carry over as you become now one of the experienced guys from maybe the newcomers lead on?
I think it's just the connection that we have in the room. Last year and then coming into this year, we're all brothers, and it's that would have been nasty.
We were almost talking about Drew Renzi. Whew. Just through the 5-hole, snuffing that out was Max Hoffman.
But yeah, it's just the team chemistry we have has just been amazing.
Yeah, and a different look this year. What's your reaction to all of the cast? How have you guys adjusted to what you found out was a month ago, a switch of leagues?
I don't think it's really changed our approach much. Either way, we're going to do the best we can and do everything we can.
And I think they're going to get FAU on this one.
Yeah, it went down hard.
Yeah, that's for sure going to be a tripping, if nothing else.
On Roth.
So that will end the power play, the 6th straight of this game, or this, I guess, second half here. Started in the second period. And so Rothamich goes to the box, and 101 of 4-on-4 time. Crucial part of this game for Miami. They've really been on their heels for most of the second and now leading into the third. But, you know, at times Seth Fisher has had to come up big because he had a little bit of a rocky start, but he looks settled in now.
He was huge. At the end of last period, the cross-crease saves were absolutely ginormous. The whole team, we were all kind of got a standing O in the locker room.
My favorite was the wraparound.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how he got to it.
Just getting across that quickly.
With him, it's just confidence. He gets down on himself pretty easily, which everyone does, especially hockey players. I feel like you got to do everything, but it's just the team just backs him up. Get a few goals, puts him up, gets him ready to go again. Good shot.
Shot on Hoffman. Oh, the second chance opportunity doesn't come through. That's good defense played there by Elian Astulian for Miami. FAU gets it back, though, put it towards the middle of the ice. This one up for grabs in the slot. Astulian, we've said his name a lot tonight. He's been one of the main guys, nearly sprung through two.
Yeah, he's good.
He gets it back one more time, and Fisher with the left pad. Boy, Joe, he was dead to rights in that opportunity, and now Miami looks to have some pressure going. They get this puck loose. Astulian
got to put the body on him.
Having a Zetterberg-like shift here. Puts one on the back door. Fisher in front. Had to make another nice stop on Michelini, tagging up with Riker Ferry, who's going for the hat trick. A large cheer from the benches area. Down on the ice. Fisher once. I think he got a piece of that, and we'll finally get the whistle as the net came off. It's Moores.
I don't know what it was.
I thought the net might have dislodged there, Joe.
We'll take that. Yeah, we'll take that.
That's an odd stoppage there. 32 to go. That was a Miami power play opportunity.
Hook on us. We're in the box, so yeah. Gonna be a 5-on-3.
Boy, not a great
I think that's
situation
Sam
for
Watson.
32 seconds. You know, we were just talking about how they got a little momentum back in this game. So we'll get a look at some new guys here. Watson should be out there with Bartoshevich and Baker.
Watson was the one that got the penalty.
Oh, yes, correct. That's right.
We got Buchagras, AJ, and I'm still learning names. So
yeah. Temporary numbers tonight, too.
Yeah, exactly. Does not help. No last names.
You think it's hard for you.
I'm sure.
Think about us up here
I'm
learning
sure.
on the fly.
Uh-huh.
We've probably mistaken a number of two, but we'll get it down once you guys get your jerseys this year. And we're looking forward to those sweaters. They got the names on the back. So
yeah, not a big fan of these. They're nice and light, but the color doesn't go.
5-on-3 is over. Out of the box comes Rothmich in a heap. Here's a shot towards
save.
Fisher. Nice stop on the blocker's side. No rebound kicked out, but it went to the boards. And now
Get on it,
FAU
Roth.
with a good clean, racing for it. Andrew Rothmich way out of the net. Hoffman directing traffic. Astilian can't find it. Tied up for a moment.
Get going.
Puck
Get
jumping.
going.
2-on-0. Nearly develops to the net. And that one, is there going to be a call? A whistle comes through. That looked very suspicious as trying to drive harder than that was Justin Lopes.
Yeah, Lopes scored himself there.
Oh, my goodness. That was an opportunity of a lifetime. That came off its mooring. That's what the stoppage was for.
Good back check. Really good back check.
And you know what? Credit to him for not selling that because he really could have just gone down and made that look like it was way under his legs, a sweep.
Yeah.
We'll keep you for some overtime here, Joe. This is a very interesting part of this game now. You've got still a penalty kill going on here for that Watson. I think you said it was a slash.
Yeah. Actually, I think they called him a hook.
Oh, yeah, hooking.
Hook for
Excuse
him,
me, right. So, I mean, this scoring sheet's gotten busy tonight.
It's been a lot of penalties, a lot of goals.
Do you kind of expect that in a game number one, especially when teams are starting to just get their systems going? And, I mean, half these guys have never even played together in live competition before.
Yeah, there's really not as much discipline because, I mean, a lot of guys in the box happens in a game like this. Plus, I don't think us and Miami really like each other too much.
It doesn't seem like. This does not feel like an exhibition game. This feels like
not.
two teams that bitterly want to win this game. Of course, this is an ACDC matchup. Your team will play Miami's M3 team tomorrow, but I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of the same guys that are on the ice right now as a cheer roars from that FAU bench area.
Got a power play. Nope, never mind.
Fisher was going to the bench, now came back, and you're right. Oh, my goodness, that could have been
disaster.
Very bad for FAU if Miami had an open look at a wide open goal.
Bayona's going to have a big year.
Look out, big hit laid out.
So high.
He gets crunched by Ricky Castrocani.
These kids are cheap, really cheap.
That was a brutal. Good to see him spring up because that did not look pretty at first.
Yeah, right to the head.
Nonetheless, 13:33 to go in this third period. Back to 5-on-5. New player racing in. That's Jake Tarlick, member of that 23-24 national title team.
I think they got one. They got a penalty.
And fans at home are going, when are we going to get 5-on-5?
Seriously.
We might not see it the rest of this game. It's another infraction coming up here. And they're going to get for a hold.
Yep.
5-4, 13-25. We'll cut you loose in a second here, but just want to get your outlook on what you've told this room, what you've heard from Andrew Yagoda in this room. Where should this FAU team ideally be if we're talking about 25-26?
What do you mean? Like, this year? Yeah. My bad. I think we should have a really, really good year. I think the additions we got. We lost some studs, but.
Christian Cuccia.
Yeah, Christian Cuccia, Petito.
Almost 100 points on the year.
Wentz, yeah, so some big guys, but I think we have so much fun playing hockey. Everyone loves the game, so the more fun you have, I think the better you play. So we're all locked in, and I think we're gonna have a really good year.
For sure. You guys are now an experienced bunch.
Yeah.
That Nationals appearance, a little. I guess serendipitous is what your coach used for describing it. But hey,
it was amazing. It was a great experience, though. Like, big travel. I mean, we got another game. I think in where is it? Alabama or something. We got some faraway games, which is exciting. But that was an amazing experience. Just playing a little bit higher of hockey than we faced all year. And then coming away with a win versus the D2 teams, like that was, I think, a huge boost for us coming into this year as well.
Right. Because a lot of those teams you're going to see this year.
Exactly,
Right.
yeah. So
a lot of, for those that are wondering at home, with all the division switches, most, if not all but 3 of the M2 teams from AAU last year are now part of ACHA M3. You're talking about a Clemson, Middle Tennessee, South Florida, South Carolina, who was going to be M2 with you guys. Boy, they're going to be a tough team. It's disappointing to see you guys not be able to play them this regular season, but, all things go well. I mean, you guys got upset at conference tournaments last year. I know that one stung really badly. Does that fuel you guys even more to come back to conference tournament this year in February and do?
Oh, yeah. We want to win so bad. We all do. Like, that's the main goal. And I think you're seeing it. Like, a guy like Renzi last year would probably shoot the puck more than he has this year, which is just showing that, like, this team is all about what's best for the team, what's going to work for the team, and just winning, frankly winning. So
that was a winning effort by Fisher. He caught a knuckleball.
We got
another delay penalty. It was 4-on-4 here.
A lot of 4-on-4s tonight.
Coincidentals everywhere.
Yeah. We're going to have to practice that.
So it's an FAU, what would be power play. Once Miami touches, they're fighting like hell to get possession of it. They can't yet. Back in their own zone. Chased in after Matthew Callahan, making life tough, and he roughs over the forward over there and gets possession. So with 17 seconds, we're going to have 4-on-3, and then we'll have 5-on-4 once both these players come out of the box. Right now in there for Miami is Brendan Moore. For FAU, it's Carter Baker. Joe Lozeritis, unless you want to stay, we're going to cut you loose.
All right, sounds good.
But we thank you for coming on this. Good luck this year,
Thank
and we look forward to seeing you and this team compete for this College Hockey South M3 group.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Joe Lozeritis, everybody. Guy we'll be talking about a lot this year, a sophomore. And Wes Moore will rejoin me on color. There he is. Jeez, man, we've been making you work overtime. 3 different color, but hey, you're my guy right now.
There we go.
Great job to Sydney, Nina, and Joe, by the way, but good to have you back on here, Wes.
Of course. Listening to the stream a little bit, and they were doing awesome. It was great.
Well, what's been wild is I don't think we've said 5-on-5 or seen 5-on-5 for the last 25, 30 minutes of game time.
This game has been crazy.
Yeah, a lot closer than I think you and I anticipated coming into this.
I left when it was 3-1, and now it's 5-4. FAU's up. It's crazy.
Yeah, and interesting to talk to Joe just about the confidence level. One-timer in front. That one got a piece of their goaltender, Max Hoffman. He's had to been sharp the last couple minutes. Redirected shot almost by Comtois, and that one under the leg came through. And if you're wondering if we're exact on these numbers, we're not, and we're going to apologize. I'm under the impression, and I've received word that Sam Carozzo is wearing number 9. I know I've been saying Comtois, Tumont all night. Here's the skinny. These jerseys have not come in yet for this men's 3 team. Joe said he's not the biggest fan of these ones, and we received temporary numbers. I'm not making excuses. We got to do our jobs better, but that's where we're at. So we apologize if we've been saying player's number wrong tonight. Hopefully they get these jerseys sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can read the number 2 on the back of the helmet to understand who the player is, but some of these guys have it. Once in a while they don't. Here's an opportunity in front. Sprawling bodies to the slot, up to the point, and gets out of the zone. No, it doesn't. What a hold in the zone. That time by Justin Lopes. And they've got an opportunity. Hoffman in the air. They score! That one out of the air. John Bayona has his second. And the Owls extend their lead.
In a game where the unexpected is to be expected, what a goal. The puck just flipping up in the air, just randomly tipped to the side. Wow.
Andrew Yagoda said, I'm putting money on John Bayonne to score first. He got close. He had the second, and now he's got the sixth. What an effort. First player tonight on FAU for repeat goals, and that one was very opportune. You know what, Wes? Let's just throw the sheet down because my penalty sheet's gone. I don't know how many power plays FAU's got. I think it's 5 now. It's been that kind of opening night. A wonderful start to this season so far. There's still 10:27 left, and you know, without Seth Fisher, I think Joe talked about it, Wes. Without Fisher making some tremendous stops, this game looks a lot different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Miami's totally had really a lot of different opportunities to score. A couple times he's dove out, grabbing the puck from the air, kicking his pad out to stop the puck from going in the goal. It's been really impressive by Seth Fisher in goal this game.
No doubt. And, you know, with what the time is left in this game, we're going to have a good one tomorrow, not on Owl TV, but FAU will travel to the Kendall Ice Arena to take on Miami M3, which means this will be the first interleague game for FAU in ACHA Men's 3. Tonight will not count for their standings. It won't count for their postseason, at least in the rankings, but it's still a good tune-up considering that now this Miami group looked a lot better than we maybe expected coming in. And a lot of guys on this roster, credit to head coach Tom Amello. He got these guys very much ready and up for this game. I mean, they led by 3 goals, 2 separate instances. This short side attempt by Drew Renzi wouldn't go. And they're reversing field, putting one in front. Second opportunity, Rothamich can't settle it down for a shot. Renzi quarterbacking this forecheck right now, and it is still a power play for FAU. I mean, you might as well just make it lock this point. Hoffman way out of position. Rothamich had an open cage to shoot at and barely missed it with his twig. Boy, a heap of action. FAU trying to put this one close to ice from the left side. Watson, soft shot off the skate blade of McGuire, who fell to the ice. Renzi gets crunched by him. It's a race for it to keep it onside, and ultimately, Elian Astulian for Miami won that race. Cross ice, nice passing through the neutral zone by FAU, and just barely offside. Renzi would have had an opportune play there, but they're going to get Rozo offside here.
I mean, from watching this game, one of the questions that started to come to my mind is this kind of the start of a rivalry, a new rivalry for FAU hockey and ACHA hockey in general? This game has been a lot closer than we've really expected. A lot of penalties, a lot of little scrums, a little bit of shoving. It's been a crazy tight game.
And you know what? This is playing out how we thought it could if it became a slugfest, which it has. But instead of FAU taking all the penalties, they have calmed things down, and now it's Miami that has really put themselves on a back burner. I mean, if this is at 5-on-5 for even half the time as we've had in this second and third, again, this could be a tie game. It could still be a Miami lead. But now the penalty is over. I'm going to guess this is like 5 for 8 FAU tonight on this man advantage. It's some crazy number. We'll get you at the end of this broadcast. 8:24 to go in the hockey game. 6-4 FAU. Shot from the point. Got through a number of bodies and ultimately into the chest protector of Fisher. Almost said McMillan.
Seth Fisher has been so good this game. Just blocking. Even this third period, he's been blocking everything that's come his way. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, and this comeback was very impressive for the fact that, yes, Miami gave up the power plays, but you still got to finish if you're FAU, and they look pretty sloppy to start this game. We talked about all of the new additions, as many as we counted 10 in this roster tonight. Well, they've come to play. This shot from the point got through to Fisher, and he sticked it aside to the near corner. Behind the net, rimmed around, caught up to by Carozzo. Unable to hold the line is Remy Kagan, and he'll give it back. Pressure gets on. Coughing up the puck through this end board. Turned over through the slot. Nearly had an opportunity. Jack Jusko on the weak side, and that one fluttered off his stick. Hit a body high. That puck comes to the near half wall. FAU now is out of the zone, but it flips into the bench, and slamming the stick down is Justin Lopes, because he would have had a break if that flip of the puck stayed in the ice area.
Yeah, that would have for sure been a goal, or at least a close goal. It would have been a one-on-one with the keeper. Unfortunate.
The only breakaways we've seen in this game was Drew Renzi early in this third period, and then he had one at the end of the second, sort of a 2-on-1. But there really hasn't been a whole lot of defensive breakdown. It's just been a lot of those start and stop plays with the penalties and then rebound chances that have led to goals. And both goaltenders have had their moments in this game. It was Max Hoffman in the first period, but since then it's been Seth Fisher. Turnaround shot from the end boards. Wouldn't go. This one, another attempt from the top of the left circle. Flutters wide. Handled behind the goal. John Bayona gets it out. He's got 2 goals in this game. That one we know for sure. And that one is scored! What a beautiful feed. Sam Carozzo. Or rather, is that Comtois Tuma? FAU, for the first time in this game, has led by 3, and for the first time since the second period, they have an even strength goal.
That was such an impressive goal. Reaching back from behind the net, flicking it up, diving with an outstretched stick, popping it up into the top bin of the goal. Wow, really impressive by FAU.
Their biggest lead of this game. They hadn't led at all through the night until late in that second. And if you watch the first part of this game, you'll know we're talking about, at this point, 6 unanswered goals. This is looking a lot more like what we thought it would be, but credit to Miami. Okay, so our scorer stand says that was Carrazzo. You know what? Throw it away. Throw away the roster sheet at this point.
I have 28. I think it was 6 that scored.
We got party fouls everywhere. We got party fouls, and the jersey's not coming in on time. I'm being facetious here, by the way, everybody. Score table, we don't know who the heck who's who. At least if you're number 9 or number 8. But, hey, they're going to say it's Carozzo, so I'm going to say it's Carozzo. Sam Carozzo. And just what a beautiful feed that was to him from the end boards. There's a clapper. Oh, my goodness. Thinking about that one was Renzi trying to go rock star. And that was a nice poke check to not let him destroy that puck. So with 6:14 to go now, this one is close to being on ice. Miami has got to get going in a hurry. 3 of their goals in this game were on power play chances. So you could say they were opportune, but since that happened, they have taken as many as 8 penalties since the end of the first period, and that has led to 5 FAU power play goals. Just can't do that against a team that on paper has a superior roster. So here out of the neutral zone, trying to find open space. That one off a stick blade. The shot originally came by Anicelli. Blocker save by Hoffman. No rebound. That one had an opportune bounce for Moriarty, but he's not able to get there in time. Clock is still running, by the way. They have not stopped it. Officials now pick it up. They've got to put some time back on the clock here if they recognize, and they did. Far official comes in, closest to our near boards, and he noticed it right away. I believe the time when it stopped said 5:18. They might put this at 5:19. Of course, you're seeing on Owl TV our brand new score bug, by the way. Great job by this production team, our producer / director Mitch, and a wonderful camera crew. doing a heck of a job here for you. We're going to be with you all season long here on Owl TV for home games from Boca Ice Center. That one floated through the slot, and that one finally gloved by Hoffman, as that was a golden opportunity for the first of the night.
Nice little scoop by Hoffman to prevent any further damage by FAU to keep it kind of under control.
Yeah, that was John Norton. I think FAU fans know this is first game jitters. We're getting the bugs out. It's the first night of many, so you can't expect perfection. This game, certainly these teams haven't had it. It's been a fun one, though. Especially with
basically a half new roster. It's different.
Yeah, and credit to that Miami side. You know, Tom Amello is a former coach of the year. He's a national championship coach. This is a mixed bag Miami team that we don't know what we're going to expect tomorrow, but it's going to be a good start for an FAU team that really needs it, considering that they have stuff to clean up. Just like every team to start the year, it's week one for them. So with 4:17 to go, Owls are trying to play defense at the point. Got through a body, went off the shaft of Fisher's stick. Came from Max Mensimer. And one of the best defensemen for Miami in this game. And there has been some good performances. I mean, Max Mensimer has been everywhere. Matthew Callahan's had a number of good scoring chances. Riker Ferry had 2 in this game, and both were on the power play. If FAU goes into tomorrow with the same kind of early mistakes, it's really anybody's game from there, and it was competitive all night. Hurricanes, though, with a scoring chance. Down low, well defended, and FAU is out. They've got a 2-on-1 developing. Good job staying on side. The feed across never got through. That was snuffed out. Intended for what I thought was Christopher Iannicelli. And if his number is 8 and his number's right, he had his first career ACHA goal tonight. A couple of firsts in this one. You talked about our standout player, Bayona, getting 2 goals in this one. Sam Watson has a goal and 2 assists. Or sorry, Watson has 3 assists. You know what? I digress. We'll just say it's a team effort. You know why I'm asking that? Because I'm wondering who your 3 stars of the game are going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. There's been a lot of FAU players that showed out tonight.
Drew Renzi has a goal, 2 assists. John Bayona in his first career game as an Owl, 2 goals. Watson, the 3 assists. I mean, take your pick. It's been a team effort to get them back into this game. There is a penalty on the board assessed to FAU. For now,
he tackled number 4. I don't know his name.
John Bayona.
John Bayona tackled somebody by the board. Someone tried to hit him, and he just wrapped his arms and brought him down to the ice. You can't do that. That's a foul.
Certainly gives Miami a little bit of life. They're down by 3, so they need a couple here. Face-off will come to the left of Seth Fisher, who will reset. Officials are still talking about this one now. What could be happening here is, depending on who came off the ice during that sequence, they're only going to allow, I believe, the 4 groups they initially came on the ice with to come. Once you establish your group, you're not allowed to make a second change. I think they were trying to get their defensive pairings right. On the ice right now is Max Mensimer, along with Elian Astulian.
And there's 6 guys for Miami on the ice right now, so
correct, right, exactly.
Someone's got to get off.
Yep, like they established the shift change with somebody, but who they were intending, I'm not sure. So still wondering, Mensimer is still wondering what's going on. That's what's causing all of this delay, who they're going to allow on the ice for this power play. If you're Miami, you want to get this right, because this is the game for you, essentially. 3:19 to go. 7-4. FAU has scored 6 unanswered goals in this game. Started with Bayona, ended with Bayona, and 4 other guys in the middle. And still a long conversation about this is a very unusual spot. You usually see them establish who they want on the ice pretty quickly. Now coming off, Evan Zadakis, number 16. And now coming out is going to be Kyle McGuire. Now we're getting confused. There must be something else going on now, whether it's clock related or shift change related, because this has been nearly 3 minutes of stoppage here by this ACHA officiating crew. First game in ACHA for both of these squads. FAU was a Division III program in ACHA since 2001 to 2020, but that was what we now know as the men's 2 team. This is a second-year FAU program, along with this Miami group is second year with the ACDC. And goodness, now the line judges are behind the play here. Main official has come, give an explanation to Tom Amello. By the way, we didn't get this in earlier, but Tom Amello is a former member of the New York Fire Department, and we acknowledged yesterday was 9/11. It's, I think, the 24th remembrance of it.
I think
and
so, yeah.
We want to acknowledge him and some of his colleagues who might have been there or involved on that day. We will never forget. So FAU back to work. They're going to set this at 4-on-4. So what all of that confusion was about was not just what we thought was a shift change. It's about who had the infraction for that wrap-up you mentioned. Bayona goes to the box, and they also put Evan Zadakis, who got taken down like you mentioned. Look out, moving inside, cutting hard to the net, off the side of the goal. Elian Astulian nearly had his second with a beautiful move inside. He's done that a couple times, and Fisher is going to just hold this one off of a long snap saucer from Max Mensimer. So that's what we had all of that time was for, was they were arguing what the call was going to be. I mean, you said it. I mean, Bayona wrapped a guy around his arms. You can't do that.
Took him down, but there's 4 minutes and 27 seconds counted down on the clock for the 4-on-4 on Miami's side.
Yeah, that
I
might
wonder
have.
if that was a 5-minute misconduct or something.
That's a very, very good point. We'll have to see once we get the scores stand reaction to it. So this one rings wide of the goal, off the end boards. Mensimer missed the net. Minute to go in this 4-on-4 time. Elian Astulian. Jack Jusko now holds on to it. We'll see if they pull Max Hoffman to our right. Have to establish some forecheck time, and great defensive play by FAU in the neutral zone. They are preventing any clean zone entries right now for this Stun Hurricane group. They were up as much as 3 twice in this game. 3-0 once, 4-1 as we neared the middle part of the second, and then FAU came flying through. 4 unanswered power play goals. They have 5 total tonight. Flipped into the air, and you were right. They assessed a 5-minute major to Evan Zadakis.
And he's going to be out for the rest of the game. And FAU's going to be able to finish the game, the 1 minute and 19 seconds of the game at least, with up a man.
Which will all but kill any chance that Miami had of a miraculous comeback of their own. What an impressive effort by Andrew Yagoda in this squad. They looked very rough out of the gates. They had allowed 2 power play goals. Miami went into the break up 3-1. And then we'll have to get assessment if it was Comtois Tumont or Carozzo that scored the first goal for FAU of this game. I'm sure somebody at home is not happy with me, and they know, but We'll get you that in the post-game show here in a minute. 50 seconds to go in this one. Miami will play with their M3 team tomorrow from Kendall Ice Arena. 2:15 p.m. puck drop. Follow that one along on Owl TV, or, FAU Hockey Club on socials. This one's saved by Hoffman. And coming up for this FAU group, the next time we are with you in this squad, we will be having both teams in action from Boca Ice Center as the M2 season kicks off against Florida. 7:45 p.m. puck drop. Actually, I think it's 6:45. I'll have to get confirmation on that. But next Friday, we'll have the special ceremony for the Men's 2 championship. Men's 3 will play right after that. They'll go up against Georgia Tech M2 at 9:45 p.m. So, bit of a late one there. But we'll have it all for you this season and some games to look out for coming up in this first semester for FAU. They're going to take on a USF team, Men's 3. They were Men's 2 last year and went to the conference tournament final against Middle Tennessee. And the M2 MVP, Grant Dietz, who has been a miraculous story for that group. And that will be in the month of September before they close things out with Jacksonville AC/DC. 17 seconds to go. We are at 4-on-4 again for an FAU penalty. What's new? Just throw out the whole score sheet tonight. It's been a gong show, but a good one at that, as FAU climbs back in this game, down 3 and 2 separate points. Miami gave them a good fight, but FAU is going to start their year with a win. Two goals from John Bayona lead the way. And a new core of players begins their journey with a 7-4 home victory in comeback fashion here at Boca Ice Center. Teams will gather for handshakes at center ice. Oh. Mitch, I'm not sure if we're going to do this right away or take a break. He's locked in. Our producer, Mitch, has been terrific tonight. You want to take a break first, or are we doing right away, post-game? Oh, can't hear me. Well, we're live on the air. this is all on the air. Hey, we'll just wrap it up here. How's that sound? This was a terrific FAU production team tonight. We'll give them all the shouts that they deserve in just a moment. But, boy, give us your final assessment of this one, Wes. We saw everything a lot closer than we expected. Credit to Miami. But ultimately, FAU takes care of business.
Yeah, and the game started unlike any of us could have ever imagined. Just FAU looking really sloppy, couldn't control the puck well, trying to go too fast. A lot of fights, a lot of words exchanged between both teams. And then the second period, they just start clawing their way back. They score a goal, making it 3-2. 3-2. Yeah, 3-2. And then Miami comes right back, making it 4-2. Then FAU just goes absolutely crazy, scoring the next 3 goals, I think, in that period. Then in the next final period, putting up 2 more goals, just controlling, being the FAU hockey that we're just used to seeing. So it was just a great second half of the game that we just saw.
An impressive comeback for this FAU D3 squad, who will take on this Miami team tomorrow at Kendall Ice Arena. Make sure you wake up for it early. It's 2:15 p.m. puck drop. I believe this game will be broadcasted on Miami side. I'm not sure where. Be sure to stay tuned to their social media pages for that one. We're going to get confirmation for you here. So, brief game recap of the goal scorers. They assessed the first one to Sam Carozzo. So, I apologize to the Comtois Touma family for that one, but hey, he was still impressive. nonetheless. I think he was wearing number 8 tonight. Drew Renzi was all over the ice tonight. He officially finishes with a goal and 2 assists on our score sheet. John Bayona, the freshman, a little bit of an older guy, but 21 years old, came in and did exactly what Andrew Yagoda thought. How much does he impress you in this first game?
Bayona was so good. He was the first Owl this season to get a multi-scoring game, multi-goal game, and he was flying. He made mistakes. Anyone's going to make mistakes, but the grand scheme of things, he had a great game. Flying, working hard, affecting the play, just being great.
How do you think they parlay this into taking care of a Miami M3 team tomorrow that's going to matter for the standings?
So, honestly, they're going to see what happened in the first period and the beginning of the second period. They're going to take a look at that. Senseless penalties. You can't just punch someone in the face or do so. There's no fighting league. You just can't take those penalties. So, honestly, you're going to have to fix that. You're going to have to fix the pace that you're going at. So you can't be you can be fast. You just can't be too fast so you can't control what you're doing.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And they controlled the speed later on, and that was the efficiency you mentioned. I think it was ESP.
ESP, yeah.
That's right, ESP. Yeah. Can you explain to viewers what that is again?
So
efficiency, speed.
And possession. We were talking to Coach Rigona about before this broadcast, and that was one of the main points he brought up: efficiency, speed, and possession, and the keys to winning a game like this.
That's a good point. And you're right. Once they started control possession, it was better. But like you say, tomorrow they've got to limit those penalties and have a more even-keeled game. You saw how Miami got things out of hand later, taking all of those penalties. FAU finishes 5 for 10 on the power play on my score sheet. Miami with 2 power play goals in this game as well. They finish at a 2 for 6 clip. Unofficial, of course. Make sure to go to achhockey.org to get the official marks and game results. Those won't come out for a little bit. Regardless, though, we thank you for listening to this broadcast. The first one of the year for FAU and Owl TV. Great job by our producer, Mitch. A wonderful job by this production staff as well. Kevin Gradaille, David Ames, Kevin Ramirez, Omar Hajkassem, John Burke, Sidney Nino, who joined us on color commentary, and special shout out to Joe Lozeritis, who we hope to see back on the ice soon.
Of course.
Great job by all, and a great first showing for this Owl TV group. That's going to do it for us from Boca Ice Center. And comeback fashion, your M3 Owls defeat the ACDC Miami Hurricanes by a final of 7-4 here from Boca Raton. We'll see you next week. For all of us at Owl TV, have a great night.